It's good to ask questions about the Christian faith. And one question that's been raised for this series by a church family is, what about the dinosaurs? How would I respond to someone who asks this sort of question? I think firstly I'd ask the question back, what about the dinosaurs? I'm interested to know what lies behind the question. As Christians, of course, we believe in one who established the physical laws, made the universe a predictable place, and put life on earth. God made it so that we can investigate it and form conclusions about it. Indeed, it's well argued that modern science came out of the Christian faith. Christians, like others, weigh evidence for what it is, whether that's with regards to dinosaurs or Jesus. Did you know that the first dinosaur fossil was found in 1676 near Oxford? Dr. Robert Pole, who found it, didn't class it as a dinosaur but as a giant human. And it wasn't until 1842 that the name dinosaur, meaning giant lizard, was first used. Since then, over 700 species of dinosaur have been found. Now, whether the Bible refers to dinosaurs or not doesn't really matter. There are many things it doesn't refer to, but maybe it does say something. After all, if we look in Genesis 1, my feel is that they are included on that sixth day of creation. Here's verse 24 of Genesis 1. And God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind. And it was so. Secondly, maybe God is referring to dinosaurs when he talks with Job, and he talks about the amazing things that he has made. And this is under the name Behemoth. Look at the behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox. By the way, we used to think that dinosaurs didn't eat grass because we didn't think it came into existence till afterwards. But we now know that they did, because we found it in their poo. It continues the poem, what strength he has in his loins, what power in the muscles of his belly. His tail sways like a cedar, the sinews of his thighs are close-knit. His bones are tubes of bronze, his limbs like rods of iron. He ranks first amongst the works of God, yet his maker can approach him with his sword. You can make up your own mind. But there's another linked question, and it goes like this. How could dinosaurs fit in Noah's Ark? Well, forget the fictional pictures that you might see in a child's story Bible, and I'm not going to go into the precise maths just now, but if you take the design of the ark as given in Genesis and you look at the number of different kinds of creatures, not species, you could see there was plenty of space, and all the more if young animals were taken. After all, the T-Rex, for example, is thought to have only had a growth spurt from age 10 onwards, so space does not seem to have been a problem. A final question about dinosaurs runs something like this. How can the Bible say that land animals were created in one day when scientists believe that dinosaurs were extinct by the time human beings were on the earth? Well, we could look at Genesis text in a lot of detail and we could spend some time poring through the scientific evidence. However, let's just capture things like this. Firstly, Christianity is fundamentally about Christ, not the age of the earth. So for many it becomes an irrelevant question. Secondly, we accept the evidence of dinosaurs and the fossils and the evidence of the biblical account. The issue in both cases is the assumptions made to interpret the evidence into theory. For example, do we interpret the layering of fossils as long ages of time or a global flood? And how do we interpret the word day in Genesis 1? These are debates amongst Christians, so please note that Christians do take these things seriously. Thirdly, Christians agree that the main message of Genesis 1 is not the order of creation, but the God who brought order to creation. So, I want to say this. Christians accept the evidence for dinosaurs, just like we accept the historical evidence for Jesus.